Yes, welcome to another divine moment brought to you by a divine person. Yes, we all are divine indeed. You just gotta find it within. If you're coming across my video for the first time, I just want you to know what I do here is teach about karma. And therefore, a disclaimer. If you're not sure and you're confused and dispute what I'm about to teach, be patient because the word karma itself, it's about results. Action equals reaction. So if you're not ready for it, do not bring karma upon yourself and get emotional and judge me and bring negativity upon yourself, because as you judge, so shall you be judged, right? So before you get into that space or that state of mind, I want you to know to be patient and let karma do its job over here. Do not bring karma upon yourself. You and I already have enough karma to deal with in our day-to-day life. With that being said, welcome and let's get going. So, on one of the videos that I just dropped about the full moon and karma and numbers and how things work, I want to elaborate more and give you some more insight, because the goal is to motivate you, to elevate you, to find a strength as to why you need to clean up your karma and feel strong. Because to clean up your karma is like cleaning up your credit debt to society. And it's not going to be easy because you are going to need temperance or discipline or some sort of focus. And through that journey, the whole world will be doing what they do. And you have noticed something that you need to fix. So you've noticed you owe a debt that is setting you back, that you need to fix that debt. And in order to pay that debt, you have to work. And it takes a lot of focus, and certain activities will have to be dropped. So in the past, I had to pay a certain amount of debt. And it was so much that I had to take on 2 jobs. So my priority with hanging out with friends and family became secondary to my life, right? So I focused mainly on the debt, and I was able to work 2 jobs and other jobs to, level up, right? So this is exact same thing as your karma. Your karma is, once you understand the concept of you're a karmic being and you're on a karmic planet and you're here because you're falling from grace, and the planet is here to rehabilitate you, or you're here to rehabilitate yourself on this planet, and therefore you cannot engage in everything of the world but be, in the world but not of the world, right? Sort of state of mind, because you would have to wake up to that realization. Nobody's going to teach you this. This is something that's already in the system that you would have to go look for it yourself, because we've come so far within history that not everybody has the time to really tell you why you're here. Your parents love you, yes, but look, we have homeless people in debt and in poverty all around the world struggling. We have houses that we have to pay mortgages and rent and all that stuff for, right? Car payments. How does this relate to your personal karma? Because like I said to you, we have been thrown off our balance. So if you haven't watched my video on the numerology on the moon and the sun, go check it out. It'll help you understand why we've been thrown off. So for instance, when it comes to debt payment, just like karma, it's the same law that binds this reality. You are here. You got the body from your family or your mother and father, right? So this duality, or these 2 people, form the third person, which is the Trinity, the family tree, right? They come together to create you. You get the bodies, but the spirit is from somewhere. And this spirit could be old or new spirit, depending on who bloodline, who has to pay, whatever, who. That is a mystery. But then you get the spirit into the body. So the spirit is like air. We all breathe it, and it's all around us. And we have it inside us. Without the breath of life, we cannot sustain, right? So in this is our thoughts and our energy and our waves that is moving around us. So everything that we do, we attract and bring it in. Now, you're here on this planet, and you already have a birth chart or a destiny that you are set to grow. So there's a roadmap once you're born. And this roadmap includes all the things that you've done, or you have to get done, or you have to fix. So it comes with obstacles, blessings, and curses. So in the past, if in your past life you had done something, or you have to go through certain type of mishap or fortune or whatever it is to be able to become the person that you need to be, these things are set in dates and time. And regardless, whatever it is, they're going to show up in that time. And if you're aware of it, you can then fix that karma. So for instance, like I was showing you in the video, they said June 16th was the end of May. So you think, it's the middle of May and it's the full moon. So now June 16th, you have a full moon, but then you're in the middle of May. So if you don't know this timing, that okay, the full moon was on May 15th. So May 15th was a full moon. So on May 15th, that was a full moon. That's the beginning of the first month. So the 17th will be the 1st of June, technically. But you don't know this because you've been thrown over, or you're not aware, or you haven't studied, or nobody told you. So you follow the regular calendar. So now you're off your axis. So remember, the earth that you live in is literally a trap now, because this was supposed to be a place for rehabilitation. But becomes power, fame, control, and everything else. We have leadership who are willing to control the masses and not give them the information that they need to. And your family trees have been destroyed based on economics. So your father and mother's probably moved around the whole world, places trying to make money, or do economics, or do create the problems of the world. Because God don't create problems. God only gives you the chance to fix your problems that you give yourself because you have a free will, or source gave you this power, right? That's how we have a free mind. But you can do whatever you want, but you have to fix it up if you want to go back home or go back to eternity in the clean. Because it says in the scales of life, you would have to be weighed against good and bad, right? So if you have to be weighed against good and bad, and your heart has to be as light as a feather on the scale to be able to balance itself out, then think about it, that in order to ascend back to your higher self, you have to clean up all this karma. So let's leave that alone. On this earth here, power and money and the free will of people have got other people to be controlled. So the only thing that is eternal is your spirit, which is the air that we breathe. Air goes through every hole in your house. You close the window, still you're breathing air. You're in the car, you roll up your window, you're still breathing air. Air travels some way, somehow. Your windows are closed in your houses, and yet you still have air. That's your spirit. Your spirit travels all around, and it does whatever it needs to do. It's doing deals that you don't even know, because your conscience is working with your spirit, right? So judgment is not upon you to judge on other people, hate on other people, be mad at other people. It's on you to be good to yourself and be nice and proper to yourself and others around you to receive your good karma. The moment you have negative thought, or you wish something worse, or you pray bad for other people, that thoughts also come back, because now you have to pay for that, because so above, so below. So you wish worse on somebody, so it's what you're supposed to receive. So now, you in a cosmic journey, you owe debts. It's called karma. You have other mistakes you've done in your life. Every 7 years, check the system. The system gives you this deal, that every 7 years is called a debt jubilee. You can have debt relief after 7 years. Now, imagine you owe like $50,000, $40,000. You can't afford to pay it. Well, you can live a simple life and not buy any more debt for yourself for 7 years. And after 7 years, it's wiped out. You can choose to try and not pay that debt and wait for 7 years. And while that 7 years is going, keep incurring other debts. Well, after 7 years, now you still have to pay another debt. If you keep incurring, right? But now you understand the concept of this karma that the system gives you in your debts. So this applies to your personal life. So now you've come to the realization you have debts that you have to pay. What do you have to do now? What can you do is a question. So now the question is in front of you, and you understand what the problem is. That you have to, in order to receive your gifts, your talents, your abilities, for them to ascend higher, for you to reach your higher self. So say, for instance, you're a singer, your throat chakras are blocked. Your dancing abilities are blocked. Your sleeping patterns are blocked. And you don't understand what's going on. Now you've come to find out, man, there's something wrong with me, my behavior, my things, that the places I'm putting myself into, or the karma that I'm refusing to pay has put me in this position. So I need to pay this debt. How do I fix it? This is where it comes to isolation. This is where it comes to temperance. This is where it comes to you following the things that you need to do and researching and putting time and investment into yourself. Because the value is for you. If you're good to society. If you're nice to society. If you're caring to your society or your family or the people around you. But if you're bad to everybody, including yourself. If you're good for yourself. If you understand what I'm saying? So now, to understand this particular concept, and you got this concept, right? And you know for sure, okay, I accept that I have a destiny. And the destiny is to be far greater than this 9 to 5, this regular life of poverty or confusion, or the family which you're born into, or the struggles in which you're born into, or the misunderstanding in which you're born into. Whatever it is that you're born into that is holding you back or is weighing you down. Once you've come to this understanding, you want to relieve yourself. It means that you are starting to see the karma in your life and you want to fix it. So you're going to need the strength to be alone, to find a meditation, to find a time to get to know yourself again, to go back into your memory lanes, into your childhood. So symbolisms and numbers are the ways to help you understand. So for instance, to understand how we are trapped in some of these stuff was the reason why I showed you the numbers on the full moon and how it operates. And how now today, I think today is the 5th. So the 5th today, when on my calendar, is probably like, you know, the 17th or something, okay, of June. So today's not the 5th of, you know what I'm saying? Today's not the 5th of June. Today will be the 17th of June for me in my calendar. I gotta go into my calendar, but I don't have it here. But long story short, how we are trapped into some of this stuff. For instance, they told you Jesus died on the cross with 2 people, and including him, that makes it 3. It shows you the trinity of 2 people accompanying him to his death, meaning the number 6 or the number 3, right? The trinity, the 3 and the 6 are divisible by 2. You understand? These are things that people don't understand, so they get confused. I told you about a master number, whereas they say Jesus had 12 disciples, including himself, is 13, and 13 is a master number, and the 12 will be a 3. Once again, the Trinity. So what are they doing? The Bible has 66 books or something like that in the Old Testament and the New Testament. What are these numbers about? That forms 12. Jesus, started teaching at the age of 12. That's 3. Jesus started teaching, died on the, when he was 33. That's 6. When you see these patterns, the number 24 in the clock is 6. All right. The middle of the day is 12. That's another 3. What are these things? These are things that bind you. So, when you draw a star is like 5-pointed. So I was telling people your head, your right and your right and your left hand, your right and left foot, you spread them apart with your head. That makes you a star, right? But the pentagram, which King Solomon used, was 6 star, which is on the Israeli flag or whatever it is. It's a 6 star. 6 angle, right? 6-pointed star angle with a circle, whatever it is. So that's a pentagram. That's different from the star. You, the star, so above, so below. You see the number 6 represent death and birth. Because you died today, that's the rebirth for somebody else, okay? Now, they use these numbers in correlation or in coordination to bind culture. It's like telling a story over and over and over and over. After a while, it becomes believable to those who don't know this true story. So the question is, before Jesus came, what was the religion that the people there were studying? Or what kind of religion did people have? Before Moses was introduced, what was the story before Moses? Who was a God and who was a prophet? Who was saving the people? Was the people non-sinless? But if you look into the history of all of those times, the people were still sinful. So then we have to balance ourselves back into nature to be able to find the answers and fix the karma that we need. How do we balance ourselves back into nature? It's by working with the waters. Because we have water in our body, like I told you, even your mouth provides some sort of water, okay? Which is saliva, spit, your tears, some type of water, okay? We need to respect the fire, the ethers, the sun, the moon, these lights, okay? Because your body already gives off heat and controls itself like a house or like a furnace on its own. This is the most amazing gift you can have. Okay, you have to pay attention to the land on which you're on, because the land on which you're on is where everything stands, like the water, the moon, and the sun flows, all shines its light on this earth. Okay, you're going to die and put your body on this earth. The water flow on top of this earth. Okay, so this is very, very key. So the earth is important, right? The air you breathe, which is everybody sharing the same air, even the rich, poor, white man, black man, Chinese man, whoever the hell they are all breathing one air. So you can even send messages through the air. Okay, so you got the air, and then you have the land, the water, the sun, the moon, right? The stars, right? you have the trees, the plant, the animals. These are all elements, and the human beings are a form of elements. Okay, so we talk about elementary being your highest form of education, grade 7, which is forms number 7. After grade 7, you go to grade 8. It's called junior high school, or you're entering into junior high school. This number 7 is the highest any human being can form, because I told you the number 8 is 0, 0 put together to form the infinity. This starts from the beginning, so above, so below. There will come a time I must come back to the old days when I used to teach and put the boards out for people to understand these numerology. But long story short, pay attention to these things and follow their cycle. And if you're following these type of cycles, chances are you will be able to communicate properly and find yourself, because that means that now you have to isolate yourself from the norms of societies. And when they said it's the 15th, you have to know that it's not the 15th. You're following the calendar on the moon. If they say it's midnight, it doesn't mean it's midnight, because you have to look at it in a way where what is the best time is suitable for you to get up and meditate, or to find yourself, or to have peace to yourself. You have to work on a different clock. So the world is not going to be with you, or the world is not going to go where you're going, because majority are going one way, and it's easy for everybody to go that way. But if you're trying to find yourself, your way is narrow, just like you. You cannot hug the whole world. You can only hug as far as your hands can reach. So meaning the way that you are walking is as small as you are and as large as your imagination, because the world lives in your head. So you have to pull back and start looking within, from your childhood, your history, the people around you. Do they mean well for you? You can go back and you will see all the circumstances once you start doing these things. But the most important part is that justice does not belong to you. Meaning, if you wish something crazy on anybody else, you're only human. And the source creator is the deliverer of justice. And justice never forgets an address. Whenever it's ready to go, karma will hit whoever, however, in the best way, if you have been hurt or been stolen from. So how does justice work, or karma works? It only works in this way: when you are being justice, being fair and honest, not trying to lie to yourself. You know yourself when you're doing something wrong. You know yourself when you're not on point. You know when you're stealing. You know when you're lying. You know when you're cheating. So until you are able to get rid of all those energies out of your system and believe and trust that you are doing the right thing in the purest form of your heart, then karma can be on your side, and things can be reversed or be revealed to you, so you can avoid those things. So for instance, if you need to get answers for yourself, sometimes your dreams cannot show vividly to you, but because maybe you're killing animals, or you're eating animals and bloody stuff, God, in the beginning, I told you, the food that was Adam and Eve ate changed their whole perspective. So meaning your food is vital, okay? The animals and the trees and all that stuff around us all have spirit, and they're all serving karma. Just like you and I, the animals, all of that, they're all serving karma. So your decision onto what you eat should reflect who you are and what you're about. So to eat fruits and vegetables, or eat food that don't have blood in them, is much easier. For instance, a mango, okay, or an apple. It's easier to pluck when it's ripe or is ready to be eaten from a tree, or it would even fall on its own without you committing any pressure. You can shake the tree, and all the bad, or the ones that are ripe will fall, okay, like strawberry, all that stuff, right? But now to go buy chicken or cow or goat or beef or pork, whatever it is, these animal plant, like fish, name it, okay? In order for you to eat these type of, spirits or bodies or meats, which your body is meat, we've been trained to do these things without thinking. But this is to lock us into more bad karma, and so we can never ascend when we get to the higher self. Now, to think about it, to get any of these animals or this meat that we so-called eat, a life has to be taken and blood has to be shared, and that particular animal's life has to be, killed for you to have food. When seeds and everything regrow itself naturally, quickly, in a different way, they're healthy, they match our skin tones, they have colors, receiving sunlight from the earth. When another animal's eating just like you, breathing just like you, walking about just like you, four-legged and every damn thing, and this you can find injustice for you to go and kill it and eat it. This dietary alone blocks you from finding yourself. because you have not even thought about that particular life that is in it. In the ancient days, blood never touched the ground. This is why someone like me do not believe in gun violence or guns. That anybody who created gun is a very crazy person for my thought, for their protection. But it's not their fault, because they've been brainwashed to believe that they need a gun to protect themselves or to go hunting. You should not be hunting no animal, because you're not being hunted because you're a form of animal. So this is one of the basic justice, because in the Bible or in most great books, it tells you that the animals also have spirits just like you. So do the trees and the plants and animals, each serving different karma. So for every one of their life that you do take, you will pay back that karma some way, somehow. And it will hinder you to have a relationship with your spirit guides, because if I'm trying to call you, I don't have your number, I cannot reach you. So your spirit guides, if you don't have that relationship or you're not vibrating on that frequency, your spirit guides cannot guide you. They can stand from a distance. They want to get close to you, but they are forbidden to get close to you, because the things that is running inside your body, whatever is running inside your body, doesn't allow them to want to help you. It's like putting water in a car engine and hope that it will, in a fuel tank, and hope that it will work. You need the right fuel to be able to run that machine. So until we change our way of thinking with animals and our environment and the things around us, it also hinders us from having that communication to fix our karma and getting justice on our side, so that when someone or something goes wrong against you, you can truly give it to the divine, and source or the creators or your angels will be like, yes, this man or this woman or this child is one of us and has been harmed by one of those who do not care for their self or others, and therefore we cannot let our son or daughter or our people be hurt in that form. If you're not doing those things, there's no spiritual side of goodness that can fight for you. You're just winging it, and you're gonna keep winging it and pay the price and keep hurting each other and just keep coming back and just keep the world the way it is in its non-growth age or stage or hurting stage. All right. So in order for karma to work, there are many, many small stages and places or things and lessons that we have to learn. So when I talk about the moon and the waters and the land and stuff like that, I'm decoding these numbers. I'm only trying to give you some of the perspective of higher learning that you can have for yourself, because you are your own doctor by the food you eat. You are your own scientist by the science and information you're looking around yourself. You are your own health or physician. You're your own doctor or nurse. You're your own mother. You're your own parent. You're your own everything. Everything you ever needed came with you in your life. It's with you. Whenever you're ready to accept and follow it, you will need to learn it again, because your society or your parents or the people around you do not want you to learn these things, because once again you become a slave to them. But after 7 years, your debts are paid off. The queen just had a jubilee, meaning certain debts that people owed her or people who were working for her, some of them are going to be released. So we have to pay attention and pay back our karma to nature or to our own life in the same process. With that being said, I'm going to leave it as that. The video is almost reaching 25 minutes here, and I don't want it to go beyond that because it becomes very difficult to upload. I had so many things that I wanted to talk about, things that I wanted to teach, but I can't, because there's a lot going on that is, I need my board. I do have my board, but I'm in a process of a different transition right now, and I'm gonna wait till I get the time, and I'm gonna, give you guys more of this information. But for now, I need people to be motivated and keep fighting a good fight. So I have to keep coming out here and doing the best I can. Hopefully this helps and gives you the motivation not to give up, because the power that you have, the people who are ready to lift you up and show the world who you are far greater than that which you think you're serving now. And if you believe in that, you will put up a good fight, because I'm about to manifest it and show it to you. And I don't need to show nothing to people, because I already did it all. I have created everything people can imagine at this stage, and it's beyond what people can understand how I do it. From work to all the things that I produce and create, it's not even doable coming from my perspective. And someday this story will be far greater for it to inspire others. And you also have a story to inspire others. So I don't want you to give up. I want you to find your strength and find your center and start that karmic journey to fix and clean your karma. Because when you die alone, and you have responsible for what you did on this earth. Alright, with that being said, it's one world, one land. Channel B Star Claire House. Love always, I'm with you. And Source is with you. Have no fear. Alright, easy.